Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Bit of a different video today, and whilst I assume that this is the only YouTube channel you watch and you don't ever deviate, I will allow you to watch the occasional other video. So I thought I would share 10 of my favourite sports YouTube channels. Now I say sports because these will include runners, cyclists, triathletes and other areas that I think are worth a look. Now I've deliberately tried to miss either the big YouTube channels because I assume you'd already heard of them, as well as those I've perhaps already recently interacted with or talked about, those sorts of things. So hopefully these are 10 that you either haven't heard about or haven't looked at too closely. Now in no particular order, I'm just going to pull these names out of a hat. None of these people have paid me for this shout out, not because I'm against bribes, just because I asked and they said no. So let's get started. Number 1, Cycling Tom. Now this guy lives in New Zealand. He runs a bike shop, he's a cyclist, he does time trialing, road races, crit races, that sort of stuff. Find him really engaging, really easy to watch, really relatable sort of guy. Seems like a nice lad who enjoys his cycling. I don't think he's at like the top elite end of the ability range, and I enjoy watching it. He also owns a bike shop, so size 58 please Tom. Vello UK. Now this is run by a gentleman called Larry Hickmott. Now Larry lives pretty locally to me and he's not a YouTuber, he's a photographer and he also captures some videos and he mainly covers cycling events in the UK. He reports on racing across the world, but domestically he's a great source of like video interviews and photos from domestic road racers. All the channel links down below by the way. Larry's videos, like he doesn't YouTube them, they're not all like clickbaited or anything like that. If you flick through and look for a certain name or look for a certain race, there's so much content, so much like first-hand interviews with these people like directly after the races. And Larry is always at the local crits, the local hill climbs, local reliability rides. He's all over the place. So I really value what he gives back to the cycling community. Please do check him out and give him a subscribe. Matt Legrand, my friend from over the pond. Now, I have a newfound respect for anybody who tries to create videos to do any sort of product review. So my hat is thoroughly tipped to Matt because his content is next level. I also respect the fact that the content in terms of numbers is so like up and down. If you review a product that gets big clicks, the numbers will be massive. And then if you don't, or perhaps it doesn't get on the algorithm, whatever, then the views won't be massive. And I can imagine that might be a bit of a roller coaster. Matt puts a lot of effort into the production value of his content as well as how he actually gets the information across. He's basically our own little DC rainmaker, and I know he mixes in those circles, so it's well worth checking out if you're looking at some like unbiased product reviews. The Cycling Dane. Now you might have seen this YouTube channel because he actually live streamed Dan Bigham's hour record attempt last year. And I absolutely tip my hat to him because during that day he had some technical issues, some other people were supposed to be commentating it, and he stepped in last minute and commentated the whole hour with thousands of people watching the stream live. That was brilliant. I really tip my hat to him. I'm doing a lot of hat tipping in this video, aren't I? His content's a lot of coverage on pro cycling races, but he also seems quite intertwined with the pro cycling world. He gets people on for interviews on Zoom and stuff, so that's well worth checking out. We are also hoping to go for a ride together this year, so I'm going to pick somewhere flat for that. Goggles, tyres and trainers, Ian Beddis. Now, this channel is all about Ian's triathlon training journey. Ian's a dad of 3, a husband, a family man, works a full-time job, so he doesn't upload loads of content, but when he does, it's really relatable to a lot of people, isn't it? A lot of people watching these videos probably have all those things going off in their life and are also trying to train for events. So I really do like his content. It's really genuine, really friendly. I've met him a couple of times. Solid all-round guy. Give him a follow. Charlie, Carbs and Cycling. Now, I love Charlie's YouTube channel. Charlie's a student and he covers a lot of pro cycling races, a lot of reaction stuff, a lot of what you might call clickbait, but I think he dares to put content up about topics that might get a bad reaction, like time trial bike technology that he spotted on a photo from somewhere. I really like that. One of my highlights as well was Charlie does like a bargain. He buys a lot of bike parts from AliExpress and sort of reviews them and stuff, and I like that. He also once bought a big bag of oats thinking, oh, he's getting like 20 kilos of porridge for really cheap. Turned out that they were horse oats when they were delivered. I'm not sure what he did with them, but I don't think he ate them. He also opens pretty much every video by saying, "Aye." Brilliant. Fogg Dog exclusive. Strange, right? Adam Fogg. Now I can't quite be sure. I understand that he was born in Australia, raised in England, and lives in the USA, but some of those things might have moved around between what they actually are. He does live in the USA currently. I think he's on some sort of running scholarship. So he is a runner and a really, really good runner. He's ran several sub 4-minute miles. I think his PB is 3:56. He does a lot of track stuff, a lot of indoor racing and stuff. But I have seen that he does come back to the UK occasionally to see his family and things. So definitely somebody I'd like to meet up with if possible. He also has his own intro song. Incredible. Check it out. And he's got a podcast as well. Obviously not training hard enough. Stephen Lane. Stephen Lane is an Australian gentleman, often referred to as Slane. He is a friend of Shane Miller, so GP Llama, the YouTube channel. Shane's a elite road rider, elite time trialist, just a typical Aussie, like laid back. Seems a brilliant chap. He does a lot of gravel racing now and all sorts. I really enjoy his content. Again, it's not uploaded to all the time, but it is worthwhile checking out. I do enjoy it. I think he's one of those grodies. We're down to the last two. Mark Lewis. Now, if you haven't seen his channel, I'd forgive you, but he's absolutely blowing up. Now, I couldn't miss him from this list because he's about 7'10" and built like an absolute brick, you know what, so he'd have got me in a headlock if I didn't put him in this. I love his content, both as a viewer and also as inspiration for this thing, or the YouTube thing. He was a stand-up comedian and he really puts a lot of work into how he structures his content. There's an underlying tone of humour. He gets a lot of important messages across, and I cannot emphasize enough how much growth his channel has seen. He's grown 20,000 subscribers in the last 3 months alone, so he's on like 40k now. It's absolutely incredible, brilliant to see. And it's just a result of hard work. Every video title is nailed, thumbnail is nailed, you can tell the video is structured, it's inspirational, and the content is genuinely good. He was quite nasty to me about my pain cave training room there over Christmas, so I'm just still sulking. Finally, last but not least, now daft, Tony Fawcett. Now, I've only been following this channel for 2 or 3 months now, and I know Tony does occasionally watch this channel, and I really enjoy it. He doesn't seem to take bike riding or life too seriously, but it does seem that he is a pretty good cyclocross, mountain bike and road rider. So he's got some race content on his channel, got some normal training content. Really great to see. He is a Geordie. It's quite hard to understand what he's saying, but if you get some sort of like Google Translate, I'm sure he'll figure it out. He also had some sort of dodgy tash for a while, but the content is great. So there we go then, 10 of my favourite sports YouTube channels. But I want to know from you guys, down below, are there any others that I have missed that are worth a look? I'm all for wasting some more time watching YouTube, as I'm sure you are. Head over to those channels if you like the look of them, subscribe, like, comment on their channels, let them know that you've come from the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. I'll send them my sort code and account number. Everybody's happy. Thanks for watching, I'll see you tomorrow at 4 PM.